Let's bring Scott Bauer of Prosper Trading Academy into this conversation. And Scott, it's going to be interesting because this is, of course, the tail end of what's thought of as that third quarter earnings season. And what are these companies going to say really about inventories, demand for the holidays? What are you expecting? And are you seeing flows and options that suggest that it could be a good reporting season overall for some of these names, or that there could be some downside?
Yeah, so this is a very important week. As you said, end of earnings season, the retailers, we get Home Depot, Walmart tomorrow, Target on Wednesday, and this is going to be crucial. I don't think just crucial for these particular companies, but crucial for the market as a whole, Abigail, because most of these companies have done some sort of pre-announcement earlier in the year. Is this going to be a disappointing end to 2022? So comments around the state of consumer spending, forecasts about the holiday season, that is certainly going to be the focus. And inventory levels, as you mentioned. We know that many of these retailers just got absolutely hammered with high inventory because supply chain issues over the last 18 months or so really messed up their forecasts. So are they going to have to be, super sales to clear out their inventory? So most importantly, at the end of the day, what are they going to say about the consumer, how the consumer has fared during, I'm going to call it a recession, and how much, if any, they're expecting them to pull back during the holiday season?
Well, pivoting to Amazon, speaking of pulling back during the holiday period, Amazon, of course, today announced that they are going to be letting go 10,000 workers. They'd alluded to this last week, and lo and behold, here it is. The stock is still down, though. It's sort of surprising. I would have thought that maybe investors, traders would want to buy that dip, given the fact that the stock is down 40%. It's clear they're trying to make operational changes. What do you think here? What are you seeing options-wise? And is there any follow-through to some of the traditional big box retailers?
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe this is the start of that capitulation people have been, kind of looking for. We saw it with Meta, a lot of other companies with big cutbacks here. I agree with you. I would have thought Amazon would have been up today. The option market, though, is decidedly heavy on the call side today. There is about 2.5 to 1 calls versus puts. Lots of buying on this week's 100 through 105 calls, going out to regular December expiration, the 100, 105, 110 calls, lots of buying activities. Now, does this follow through? Well, this week, I'm really focusing on Target, who reports on Wednesday, and I truly think that could be the one that has a potential really big upside move if they don't announce anything about, having to massively reduce because of inventory.
Yeah.
Implied volatility in Target, extremely expensive, implying about a 10% move.
Yeah, and that's also a big if, because to your point about these companies pre-announcing earlier this year, I feel as though it was a few different times where numbers were brought in, inventories. So talk to us about how you play this options-wise.
Yeah, I'm looking for opportunity, and if we get above the 200-day moving average around 180, there's a big gap from that May drawdown in Target. I'm buying the December expiration 190, 210 call spread. Yeah, that's kind of far out. $3. Again, any sort of good news, Abigail, there is a lot of shorts that have to run to cover and a lot of dead space in the gap between about 180 and 210 in Target.
Big move there, and it's refreshing to have such a bullish view in this year of 2022 when it's been primarily bearish. Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy, thanks for joining us today for Options Insight. And from New York, this is Bloomberg.